internet, my name's Lave, and this week I watched Bastille Day. Now I remember kind of half seeing a trailer for this film, and I remember thinking that looks generic as hell. But I was really clinging on to this hope that it was going to be like Taken or John Wick, where you know it's going to be quite generic, but quite a lot of fun. And in a way, I guess it kind of sort of is. It's really, really generic. So the film stars Game of Thrones' Richard Madden as Michael. He's an American in Paris and he's a professional pickpocketer. He's the best there is, but he's a nice guy, really. He unwittingly steals something which gets him involved in this terrorist plot to cause anarchy in Paris. This then grabs the attention of Idris Elba's character. He's a CIA operative. And no word of a lie, he's introduced to us in a CIA meeting about him where they're going over his file and they say, "Your file says that you're reckless and irresponsible, but man, what a guy. Now go get the job done, got it." So the first act, you're introduced to the characters and it's all about Idris Elba tracking down Richard Madden's character. And I have to say, they track down people really easily in this film. It's literally like, he's using that payphone. Oh, he's in that hotel. Found him. The second and third act is them realising that they've got to work together and it becomes a weird buddy cop, odd couple film. And then it all builds to an inevitable showdown in the third act where Idris Elba goes one-man army on everyone.
What are you doing? Going in alone, no plan, no backup.
I'm reckless and irresponsible.
So unfortunately, no surprises. It is generic in every sense. The script is generic. The action scenes are generic. It just feels very safe. It's directed by James Watkins, who has done horror films, I believe. The Woman in Black, and I haven't seen Eden Lake. It feels like this film is a love letter to the late 80s, early 90s action films. And it definitely owes a lot to the Bourne films. In fact, this film is a real pastiche of every Bourne film you've seen and Die Hard with a Vengeance. That is this film. It has tried to modernise it a little with hashtags, and there's a couple of scenes that reminds me of the hacking group Anonymous. It's really suggesting that hashtags have the power to sway the public in a certain direction. Hashtag buy Lave a sandwich. I was also really interested in finding out the budget of this film because it has the feeling of a low budget action thriller, a competently made action thriller, but still low budget. For example, there's a couple of scenes with Idris Elba sitting in the car with Richard Madden, and it just feels very cheap. And you can tell it's just in a green screen environment and the car's not really moving. It's a bit like, "Hey, I don't know if you've checked my file, but I'm reckless and irresponsible. Well, my file says that I'm a professional pickpocketer. I'm going to shoot you in the face." So that's my thoughts on Bastille Day, and pause the video now if you want to check out my enjoyment tracker. It's a competently made film, but it just brings nothing new to the table. It definitely owes a lot to the Bourne films, and if you're someone who doesn't go to the cinema regularly, you might as well just wait for Jason Bourne to come out. It also has this air of Idris Elba auditioning for James Bond. Yeah, I can see it. I do actually think that the first and second act were better than the third. The third just kind of goes a bit silly. Like Idris Elba's character goes, "I'm reckless and irresponsible, but I'm gonna save the day." He turns into this one-man army commando style. There's even a bit where a grenade gets pulled on one of his enemy's jacket and he jumps on top of the person on top of the grenade and it blows up and he just gets up, walks off. Yeah, I'm reckless, irresponsible, and grenade proof. So thanks very much for watching. If you liked the video, like it. If you didn't like it, dislike it. Either way, tell me in the comments. Hashtag buy Lave a sandwich. Subscribe.